welcome to the Peacock Homestead. If you are new here, my name is Elizabeth from the peacockhomestead.com. Today we're going to be rendering this beef fat and we're going to be making it into tallow. So I'm going to render it for about 8 hours. And I purchased this at my local supermarket and I got it for 99 cents a pound. And I just asked if I could get some of their fat. It took me 2 days to accumulate this, so I got half of it on one day and half on the next. And so I'm going to be making different things with this. I'm going to be making soap. We're going to be making skincare products, as well as I'm going to be cooking with it too. Tallow is amazing for your skin, and it has so many health benefits. For instance, it has vitamins A, D, and K, and it balances your skin oil production because it's similar fat to the lipids on human skin. It also repairs and prevents skin damage with antioxidants and other nutrients, and it moisturizes your skin deeply and naturally. And tallow is also believed to prevent dryness at a cellular level without suffocating the skin barrier. So there is different types of tallow. There is the highest quality that is coming from the fat around the kidneys, and that is called suet. And it is the most nutrient fat in the whole animal. But I just have a mixture of muscle fat and suet in there, so it'll be just as good. And if you have this stored in an airtight container, it will last for the whole year. So this is the next day, and I'm going to be taking all the fat off of the top. And there's a little gelatin down at the bottom that is rendered out, and I will show you that. And I'm going to be cooking it one more time. I'm going to add a bottle of water, a 20-ounce bottle of water, and that is going to be washing it. So I'm going to get all of the constituents out of it that I do not want in there, like the little brown pieces stuck to the bottom. And I'm going to clean it up very well because I want to use this as tallow butter for my skin. So we're going to be making skin cream with that. And a little spoiler alert, I did make a little bitty batch and it is so amazing. I put peppermint in it, and I also put a little bit of vanilla extract, my homemade vanilla extract, and some almond oil, and it was so amazing. Oh, and I did add a little bit of rose oil to it, essential oil, and it made it so wonderful, and it works amazing. So after the second wash, I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to cook that tallow for about 15 to 20 minutes or until you stop hearing the popping. And then we're gonna can this up using the open kettle method, where you just pour hot liquid into the jars and you place your lids on top nice and tight, and they should seal within a few minutes of that, and then you can store it on your shelf for about a year. And what I'm going to do is once I open it up, I'm going to pop it in the fridge because the air has gotten to it. So I'll make it have a longer shelf life in there as well. And you'll see when you pop it in your fridge, it will get a lot harder. Right now it's soft like butter. So in the final product, I got 10 pint jars, and I started with 20 pounds of fat. I ended up with 8.5, almost 9 pounds of tallow that was rendered from the beef fat. So I love doing things and learning about the history as well. It is super interesting. Beef tallow dates back hundreds and thousands of years ago. So civilizations like the Egyptians and the Mesopotamians, they relied on beef tallow for many different reasons. It was a byproduct of the cattle domestication, providing all of these societies with a valuable source of nutrition, fuel, and preservation. You can make candles with it. You can make face creams, body creams, and it's affordable too. And you can also make soap with it as well. And they counted on this so much for everything. Tallow was not only used for just soap making, it was used to make candles. It was a go-to choice for lighting. It was so much cheaper than beeswax. Back in the Industrial Revolution, they used it actually to lube up their machines. Also using it to condition your leather products. It is also one of the best cooking fats there is. So it is super amazing. It has a high smoking point, which makes it excellent for frying and roasting and offering a beautiful beefy taste. And we just used it to cook our French fries the other day, and they came out so amazing. And I even used it to cook a couple of hot dogs and put it to the next level. So this is the open kettle method that I was talking about. I'm just wiping the rims off with a dry paper towel, and we're going to put the lids and the rings on. And we're going to put them a little bit tighter than finger tight. That's how I did it. I don't know how it works if you put them finger tight, but I wanted them to seal good. So I put them on a little bit tighter than finger tight. And then I'm going to let these sit overnight until the very next day around the same time. I waited 24 hours. They should last for a year on your shelf in a nice, cool, dark place. And I did take one of these, and I had to make a body butter right away. So I used mint essential oil. I used vanilla extract, my homemade vanilla extract, and I also used rose essential oil, and it turned out so amazing. And I can't wait to share my recipe with you all. I am super excited to have this on my shelf and to use it for all the things and all the health benefits. This is a turnover recipe. I don't remember where I got it, but I made sure to write it down. So we are going to be making a full puff pastry. And that's what makes your beautiful turnovers, or you can make homemade Pop-Tarts with this, and it'll be super fluffy and have tons and tons of layers. So I'm going to have this recipe on my blog, thepeacockhomestead.com, and I'm going to flash it on the screen for you so you can try it right away. So you're going to need 240 grams of salted butter, 240 grams of flour, 130 grams of water, plus a little tab of butter, which is around 30 grams, just to crumble. That's what I have in the bowl right there, to crumble and mix in to make the base of this recipe. So we are going to be making what is called the full puff pastry, and that is going to be super luxurious. You will see there'll be so many layers in this. And for the filling, I'm going to be using my blueberry jam that I had just made recently. And we're going to use milk to seal the edges. And then we're going to bake this in a preheated oven for 25 minutes at 400 degrees. So the trick to making these is many folds. This is going to be me putting together the puff pastry. So you're taking basically 2 sticks of butter and slicing it up into little tabs of butter. And you're going to fold the butter into the puff pastry. And then you're going to fold it like a book and let it set in the refrigerator for a half an hour intervals. So you're going to take it back out and do that around 5 to 7 times. If you have time to do it sometimes, that will make it even more flaky. So I did it around 5 times, and I just wanted to show you that it kind of mends together and the butter just kind of melts right into the puff pastry dough. So, and these are my hubby's favorite dessert, and they're actually mine as well. We were craving them, and I didn't not really want to go to the store and buy them because they're super expensive. So I was like, I'm going to make them from scratch. And then we decided to do the blueberry ones, and next time we are going to try the Christmas Yule jam for the next ones. Those are going to be so good. These are definitely a really good recipe for the holidays. And it's a little time consuming, but they're just like the pastries at the bakery, and they're even better for you because you know what's going in it and you know who made them. And I think anyone, any age would love these, and it would be a super lovely gift to be giving for Christmas presents as well. wow, they turned out so amazing and they're so addicting. So I hope I inspired you guys to try this recipe, and we are going to move on to the next. We are going to be making Yorkshire pudding, and I'm going to be making a Philly cheesesteak filling. So besides being a history nerd, I love watching baking shows, collecting cookbooks, and watching animal documentaries. Yep, I am that kind of a nerd. But right here, I am seasoning my steak with Montreal seasoning. And I'm going to throw that in my cast iron pan. And that's going to be the base of our Yorkshire pudding. And I got this recipe from the British baking show with the Yorkshire puddings. So we're going to put a little splash of oil, making sure it's all coated in oil and ready to go in the oven. We're going to preheat our oven and pop it in there. And I would put a pan underneath there in case the oil slips out. And we're going to pop that in there and heat it up for 20 minutes. And these are the banana peppers from the farmer's market that I had froze. So we're going to be using this in the recipe, as well as a medium onion. And we are going to fry them up in my cast iron pan. And they are going to be the filling to these little Yorkshire puddings. These little Yorkshire puddings are kind of like the walls of Jericho. So they were really puffy, and then as soon as you take them out, they fall. But it makes wonderful little hors d'oeuvres for any occasion. So they would be perfect to bring on your Christmas parties or your birthday parties or baby showers. They're a perfect 2-bite snack. And actually, my husband and I had 3 each, and they're actually quite filling. But the flavor in it is awesome. There's different layers of flavors, and it's super versatile, so you can make it any flavor that you want. So I'm pouring these in here, 1 little ice cream scoop in each slot, and it is super hot, so be careful. It is a preheated pan at 370 degrees with a little bit of oil on the bottom, And we're going to bake these for 20 to 25 minutes. And they're going to turn into beautiful golden puff balls. And as soon as you take them out, they're going to shrink. But that's okay. That's what they're supposed to do. So I'm going to cut the stick up into little bitty bites so they'll fit into each little cup of a pudding. And I'm going to top it off all with the onions and peppers that were fried in the cast iron pan, and they're going to be so delicious. So I had topped this off with some cheese that I had in the fridge. I didn't have any cheese except for sliced cheese, so I just used what I had. That's what we usually try to do here. And I cooked the steak well done because that's what hubby likes, but I would have liked it a little less, like almost medium rare. That would have been delicious too. But I hope you guys try this recipe. Let me know if you do. And if you have any recipes that you have for your traditions in the holidays. And there we have it, our beautiful Yorkshire puddings. And for dessert, we are going to have our homemade blueberry turnovers. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. And thank you so much for all my subscribers. I am blessed to have you here with me. Many blessings, and I will see you on the next video.